Hi friends, in this tutorial I am going to explain how to develop a low poly coffee shop. Some of the architectural building I want to explain here. You can observe this is the interface of the Blender. You can observe this is the one of the cube as the default, and one is the point light and one is the camera. I am offing the camera and the point light by clicking on the shift key. Select these two and give here. You can observe the eye view, you can observe the hide in viewport, hide this, and after that select the object and on the object mode and give G and press Z by using the control and normal to the surface. You can observe it will go onto the surface, the cursor and the cube. Then after you can observe this is the cube of default dimensions. By clicking on the N key, you can observe the dimensions here. 2 meter on x-axis, y-z axis all are 2 meter. I am going to increase this to 5 on x and y and z. Once again save this file and you can observe the control S shortcut key for to saving. You can observe. After you can observe the one of the cube is created. By pressing the N it will disappear, so you can observe. Then after I am going to the edit mode. You can observe the edit mode and go into the edge by using the control R. Give the loop cut. I want the here one by using the press escape key and the left mouse key. Again give the control R on the vertical direction and the horizontal direction. Give escape key and the left key. You can observe one of the this is created. Then after I want to create another loop here like this and move somewhat distance, and you can observe you can create here also by clicking on this and move the sum of the distance. Then after I want to give the vertical direction also by clicking on the want to delete this loop. You can also delete this loop by using the vertices. By using the control Z you can give like this. Here I want to give the loop by pressing on the control R and give some of the distance like this, and here select this and the control R and give the sum of the distance like this and give the control R again and give some of the distance. Again control R, give some of the distance like this. After what to do, like this you can create the different types of loops here. Then after I want to extrude this by going to the object mode. Again I want to go into the edit mode. Here you can observe the face and select the face and give the extrude to inside of some of the distance. Then after select the face and give the I key. Before clicking on the I key, go on to the object mode, select the total object by using the control A, scale it. Why we are doing this? Because by using the insert we will create the all the edges will give the same dimensions. Like this I can give the I key, some of the distance like this. Again like this it is created. Again I want to extrude the distance somewhat. You can observe what distance is created, extruded. Also go on to the material preview. You can observe. Again I want to create the loop cut here, go into the edit mode and give the control R and some more distance here. I want to go into the edit mode and select the face and give the eye option and give it like this and extruded some of the distance and give the eye key and extrude this some of the distance. Similar to this, like this you can create it one of the window and the here you can also create here also by using the eye key. Give the extrude by using the shifter. You can also give, and I'm giving the eye key again, extrude this some of the distance. Eye. Also by using the shift control shift R, same you can give like this by using the extrude by selecting the faces and extrude some of the distance like this. Like this one of the model is created, and after I want to create the top here by pressing on the object mode. Again go into the edit mode. Here you can observe the edge. By selecting the edge, I am selecting the edge here, and you can also select this edge by using the shift S and cursor to selected and give the go to the object mode and go to shift A and give the cube. New cube is created. I want to create the top slab and go on to the save. Once again save the file, and you can observe I want to by pressing on the G and the Z and the control, it is on the exactly on the top. I want to reduce the size by clicking on the scale S on Z or Y. You can observe I'm pressing on Z. I want to give some of the thickness value to this by pressing on the Z again, and I want to S and enlarge this some of the distance, and then after Z and go into the wireframe mode and on to the 3, and you can observe I'm selecting this, go on to the G and the X Z key on, give on to the exact onto the edge top to the edit mode. So Z in the wireframe, go to the 3 and G and the Z, it is on the exactly on to the top, it is touching, it is okay. Then after go to the front view and give the edit mode and select the object G and the X, give it to the center of the position, right position. Then after Z, go into the solid by clicking on the 6. You can observe you can also reduce the size by going to the object mode and select the object S and clicking on the Z key, reduce the slab thickness, and again go into the Z in the wireframe mode 3 and select the all of by using the vertices and Z and object onto the somewhat top of the slab and Z go into the solid. Now it is created. You can observe here you can give the matte cap to visible this. You can observe I want to create some of the bevel here by selecting the edit mode, and I want to create the top, the bottom. to create by using the Control B. You can also give some of the bevel like this. Control B, selecting the Z axis, or Y or Z, you can give the bevel. Then after going to the object mode, little bit bevel is there. Click on save option. Then I want to give the bottom plane. For example, I want to select the edit mode. Here I am selecting the edit mode and select the face option. I want to separate this by selecting the P and the selection. It is separated. Again, go into the object mode and select the plane, and you can observe I am right clicking and go into the edit mode and give the subdivide option and go to subdivide. You can increase the subdivide by selecting the face and give the subdivide and give counter to, for example, 5. You can observe I want to give 8. 5 is okay. Then after you can observe and select the all of the faces by selecting on the face and go into the add modifier tool and give the wireframe and go into the object mode. You can observe the wireframe. You can also give the thickness value for to increase the thickness of this like this. You can observe I'm selecting the thickness and increase it. You can also delete the face, some of the faces by selecting the all of the faces and pressing on the delete or X key. Give the faces to be deleted and you can observe the object mode. This is the wireframe of the mesh is created on the door. You can observe. Then after I want to give the plane onto the bottom, and I want to give the, before I want to go to the bottom plane, you can observe I want to give the text here by selecting the cube and go into the edit mode. Here I want to give the cursor. For example, I'm going to the edge option and select the edge and shift S option and cursor to select the cursor is there. You can observe. And I want to create the object by going to the object mode and the shift A, give the cube. Again, scale this cube go to the exact sum of the distance. Before that, go to the 3 and the G and the X and scale this to sum of the distance, and S and Y, decrease the thickness of the board, and S and the Y, this is okay. Again, G, select the G and the X Y option and click here. You can observe I want to again increase the scale on the X direction for to create the board here. For to make a coffee shop, you can observe I want to increase the X and X direction sum of, I want this. Then after you can observe this is created. Then after I want to go into the object mode and shift A, give the text. Here you can observe the text is there. I want to on y direction I want this text, and after I want to rotate the text by using the R and the Z axis, Z key. By using the X and the Y direction you can adjust by using the control, it will straight, and you then after add the modifier to this. Then after adjusting the text, give the add modifier to the text by selecting onto the solid 5. You can observe the thickness is assigned to this, and give the thickness value to some of the distance. As you wish, I am giving some of the distance to 0.1, and give the text G by clicking on the directions and give it there. On top of this, by using the Z and the wireframe, you can give the text on the exact position by clicking on the 3 and the G and the X or Y, and give the Z key, and go into the G and the X Z key. You can adjust to the center to this G and the Z direction. You can give some more distance, and give the Z and the wireframe solid, and after that give the text. By going to the edit mode, you can give the text like this. You can adjust the scale by going to the object mode again. Position this sum off to the center and scale this, and G and the X key again, scale this, and G and the X key. Yeah, you can see it is created. Okay, now after I want to move to somewhat Z direction to the one on top, and give the thickness value to increase the thickness value to 0.20 like that, and go to the Z and the white frame, and go to the 3 option, and G and the X Y key. Adjust this to the somewhat, and go to Z and the solid. You can observe it is created. Then after the total object is created, you can observe. Then after I want to create onto the bottom one of the plane. For to create this, go into the edit mode here and select the edge. You can observe, and go into the Shift S cursor to selected, and give the plane here by going to the object mode. Give the plane, Shift A, and give the plane as plane S option. Adjust these two, so on the 3, on the G and the X key, on directions to the center, and extrude this, and give the extrude by selecting the edit mode, and give the extrude option to somewhat thickness, and you can observe and go into the object mode. So the plane is created. You want to move the plane for somewhat distance G in the Z direction. Also increase to the some of the top to this for to create the plane. And then after I want to give the total railings here. By this I am just clicking on the save option. Then after I want to go on to the object mode and select the cube here. You can also anywhere you want, you can give the rules. For example, I'm going to the edit mode here. You can observe the lines. Go to the object mode. By selecting on the object, for example, I'm selecting this object and going to the edit mode. You can also, by selecting the edge option, here the edge is selected, or that I want to create a cylinder, and by clicking on the edit mode, you can observe this is selected. In the shift S, cursor to selected, the cursor is here. I want to create this cube here. Go into the object mode, same process, shift A, go into the cylinder and scale the cylinder somewhat to small and scale onto the z-axis to some of the distance, and you can observe it is scaled. And you want to decrease the scale here, you can also decrease by like this, and it is good. You want to adjust this, go on to the G and Z and the wireframe mode, and G and some of the X position, move it, and G and one of the Z direction, move somewhat the distance like this. You can observe it is moved, and go into the 1 on the top view by 7. Go into the Z and the solid mode, Z and the wireframe mode. You can observe, select the cube and G and select the cylinder and move it to somewhat distance by selecting the G and the X key or Y. You can observe, I want to here to adjust this, it is moved correctly. You can observe, pressing on the 3 option, you can also move to some of the distance. This it is exactly there, and go into the object mode, Z, and go to the solid. You can also off the Matcap Studio for to visible this Matcap option. Then after, select the cube of cylinder, and go into the add modifier and give the array modifier here, give the distance of X to 2.5 and give the count to, for example, I'm giving to 15. You can also increase or decrease this, and 12 I'm giving, and go into the merge option here and go into the G and the X. You can see I'm here. You can also increase the count to 15 and again G and again X. You can also give to, for example, I want to give 17 and the G and the X. It will not distract it. It is okay. Then after, save the file. Then after, I want to move the all of the objects by selecting this, Shift D, by duplicate these objects and G and the X key, Y direction I want, and adjust this. You can adjust later also. Somewhat it is distracted, I want to move this by clicking on the 3 and the G and the X key, the Y position, it is okay. Then after, I want here also what to do, and the Shift D and give the sum of the distance X on Y direction, and rotate this by clicking on the R, again Z and X direction. It will be like to Y, and I want to, it is rotating. See, by using the control you can adjust this. Using the control it is straight, and go to the G observe the G and the X key, give it to straight, and G and the Y key, give it to straight like this, and the railing is created, you can see, successfully. You can also reduce the by clicking on the count option here, by adding the array modifier here. Here see, in this we don't want this, delete, and again shift D, X direction, due to sum of the distance. Like this, by pressing on the, can see the all of the layers, and go into the go into the solid and go into the object mode, give the rotation. You can observe the coffee shop is created. Then after we'll create the materials and texturing and shading to this, and some of the light effects for this model. Then after the modeling part is completed, then after I want to give the materials. For to this I go into the camera, you can observe the, and on the camera and on the light what is the default, and go into the here the shading. On go into the viewport shading, it will look like this. I want to give the materials to this. First of all, I want to create the light onto the top of the slab, and I want to position the object mode and select the shift A option and give the light and give the sunlight. I want one of the sunlight, and drag and drop here. After give the point camera to like this for to create the shadow on the other side, and give on the other side to black, and front you want like this. For example, you can observe the shadow is creating good. I want to create the light effect here. You can also adjust the light here. It is looking good. You can also give the light effect to somewhat inside. This is the sun, this is the light. It is enough. I want to adjust the camera by pressing on the 0, and you can also adjust this. I will show you. The camera option is finally we will create, not an issue. First light is required and the sunlight you can observe. Then after I want to give the shadow effect is completed. Then after I want to create the materials to this. First I want to give the material to the object cube by selecting the object mode, and give the material option here. Click on the save once again and go on to the material, give the new material by pressing on this, and give the base color to this material. This is the coffee shop model. I want to give the light brownish, and you can observe I want to select this also, same material, assign the material to this. So you can also adjust the light by clicking on the G on the Y direction, on Z direction somewhat top, for to avoid the more shading. Then the light is created, you can observe. Then after I want to give the metallic material for to this. For to give the material, give on to the new material again and select the cube this board and give the base color to black and give the metallic to total and give the roughness value and give the base color to somewhat lighter. You can observe the metallic shade is created. You can observe onto the base color, give the base color like this and give the metallic to 1.0 and increase the roughness value and give the shading to somewhat lighter to material this. Then it is okay. I want to create, this is also a metal part. Select the wireframe and give the material to this. I go on to the material and select the same material to metallic. It is okay. Then after I want to give the coffee shop some of the emission material and give the new material again and give the base color to yellowish light. This is the yellowish light, you can observe. Then after keep it as like this only. Then after go into the principal BSDF to emission and give the EVV. We are going to go rendering the EVV and ambient occlusion, bloom effect on, and the screen space reflection should on, and go into the shadows and give it to 2048 pixels, and that's it. And go to the material, give the shop, select that shop and give the color to again to somewhat and give the strengthen to increase the light effect. Okay, see the text light effect is created. You can observe on the coffee shop. I want a 3.0 here. I want to increase light to some of the bluish color. Okay, this is fine. Then after I want to create the Windows part 2 by selecting onto the edit mode and select this face by selecting this face and selecting the shift by selecting the all of the faces for to create the windows. After selecting this and give the P option for to separate. All are separated at once and go into the object mode and select all of the as it is selecting and go into the material here, give the material and give the principal BSDF to glossy BSDF glossy and give the color to somewhat lightish blue color and give the roughness, increase the roughness value like this. The glossy type of windows is created, you can observe. You can also give the roughness value or to increase this, to increase the more shading for to get glossy effect. Then the gloss is completed. Then after I want to give the material here to this by clicking on the material new, and here I want to give the green color to this without increasing nothing. I don't want to increase anything here. And after that I want to select this with the new material and give the base color to brown somewhat lightish brown I want, more darker color. Can also increase the more set the color here. You can also increase the brown color here. After that, again select this by using the shift key. Give the same material to this by selecting the material 06 and give the material 06 on the other side also. See the exact coffee shop when the low poly model is created. You want to hide the all of things, you can click on these two, it will hide it. You can also increase the darkness value to this by selecting on this position to darkish green color. That's all. This is created. It is good. You can also give the glossy effect for to this, for to increase the roughness value. Increase the roughness. You can also give the metallic somewhat and give the roughness value to this. See the mirror type of object is showing here. By increase the roughness or decrease the roughness, you can increase the metallic, you can increase the roughness. The top of the this is somewhat good, and I'm morphing this again for to show this. And this is one of the basic tutorial is completed. Then after I want to give the light effects to this. For today I want to go on to the point light. You can observe the go into the object mode and shift A. Here the light area light here for to the windows. The area light is created here. I want to by clicking on the J, you can observe the area light is like this. I want to adjust this here and shift D and G and the X. You can also adjust here also one of the area light. Pressing on the area light one by clicking on the shift, you can also give the shift to D here and the G and the X key. Here also you can give G and the X key. Like this you can give the area lights. By selecting the area and area 2 and shift D, G, X. You can see it will move. Then after I want to give the point lights here and go into the shift A, go into the light. For to this I want to go into the edit mode, selecting the Q, go into the edit mode by pressing this object mode here. You can observe the lights. You can also on the shift and clicking on the shift D and the G and X, you can adjust like this. Same, you can observe this, the area light is created like this. Same like that, you can give to shift D, the shift D, the R, X, Y, Z, G, X position to this. I want to rotate some of the distance to R, Z, X, Y, Z. On the Z axis, I want to rotate by using the control key. I want to adjust this. And go into the G option by selecting these two, by clicking on the shift and go into the G. Here I want to place the lights here. You can place the lights by pressing on the shift keys. You can also adjust the light. Go into the Z and the wireframe. You can adjust to fix this by pressing on the 7 key and the G and the X, R. You can adjust the light to center to this and go to Z, solid, onto this. Here see, you can observe the area light is created. After creating the area light, I want to give the point light by going to the object mode, clicking on the save option, clicking on the save and go into the object, give the edit mode and select the edge here. By selecting this edge, I want this edge. For example, I want this edge and go into the edge and go into the shift S cursor to selected and go into the G option, object mode. On this I want to create one of the light. Go into the shift A, give the light option. I want to hear the point light. You can observe the point light is like this. I want to adjust the light to somewhat G and R, G, X, G and X, Y, Z to this. You can observe like this. You can give the light effect, also increase the lighting, and I want to adjust the light to somewhat outside. And then after, I want to give the shift D and the X, Y direction, give the multiple lights, shift D, the Y direction, give the multiple lights, shift D, on Y direction, shift D, Y direction. Like this you can give the lights. You can also give the color of the lights to blue color, and here I want somewhat yellowish color. Again here I want somewhat blue color, pinkish blue. Like this you can create the different types of lights. Again I want on the other side also by clicking on the point lights, clicking on the shift key, select the point lights, and give the shift D option and X key, give the lights here as well as same as before. You can here also you can create the light, extraordinary lights, and go into the again the material preview. By on of this you can observe the lights. You can see how it is looking. By using the area light, you can create like this. By using the emission light, so I explained. By using the light, point light on the top, on point light, sunlight. First of all, the lighting effects is more important to give the actual rendering, realistic rendering to the object. You can observe that the model is created. You can also give the object and give somewhat brown to this. Like this you can create them and go into the object. You can see the coffee shop model is finally created. Once again, save the file, and you can observe how we created the lights. It is looking awesome. And then after, you want to render this file on the Eevee. Go into the render engine, select the Eevee and the render 6465. You can observe on the viewport render engine, go into the view, the viewport render image. Simply you can render like this by using the shift, the left key can move. By using the zoom option, scroll key, you can also zoom. By using the image and save as, you can shift alt s, you can save the image file here. You can see it is created. And you can close this. For example, you want to go into the render engine on the cycles. Go into cycles and give the GPU compute, graphic processor unit, and you can observe the render engine to 64 here to fast rendering, and give the adaptive sampling. You can give the adaptive sampling, and GPU compute. You can observe the render is working. See, on the realistic rendering, it is like this. On the cycles, it will take time, and go into the Eevee. It is look like this. This is the one of the basic model I explained in Blender. You can see how it is looking. The coffee shop, all of the things. You can create. This is a simple model for the beginners. You can see the render images you can create by using the viewport render image, and already the light effect is created. What about the camera? I will show you how to adjust the camera here. After selecting the camera is very small. By pressing on the 0, you can view this. To increase this, by clicking on the scale option S on the same position, increase this. On pressing the G and where is the axis you want, on the x-axis move this, and again S, increase the scale and give the position to the exact position like this, and give the 0 option. And I want to give to some of the distance by pressing on X key and scale this somewhat more. Can also rotate this. Pressing on the 0, you can observe, and go into the G option. You can see the exact is created. Like this, you can give the camera rendering, and of all this you can visible, and go into the render image and see viewport render image, the exact position of the camera view. It will render like this. This is also you can create by using the view, and go into the cycles. You can also see the preview here also, and go into the 0 option, and on the all of the features, and give the Eevee. You can observe like this. You can adjust the camera to this